Mind is like a passage. It's like a passageway. It's like a route. R-O-U-T-E, route. You can go this way, you can go that way also. So we are more prone to go external through the mind. We are more prone to go towards illusion through the mind. But the mind also takes one inward. Mind is a root. And soul is a root. R-O-O-T root. Therefore, Shastras explain that actually one should do internal gymnastics with the mind. Not external gymnastics with the mind. So the mind should be used to focus inward, not outwards. And that is the hallmark of Siddha Prajna. And that is the hallmark of a devotee. Now, what do we mean that, that internal gymnastics? What do we mean by internal gymnastics? It's like this. Internal gymnastics is like this. Like say, for example, now if the mind is applied externally, then the mind can come up with a lot of situations and permutations and combinations. And some time back we were mentioning about it. What if? I am like now the boys, they're shifting to voice, after 1 year, after Krishna Masters. The question may come, what if मेरा स्टडी नहीं हुआ तो, इन लोग ने मुझे अच्छे प्रसाद नहीं दिया तो, है ना? The authorities, the college authorities find out तो, if I don't get much career orientation तो, CG गिर गया तो, health गिर गया तो बहुत मुश्किल होगा स्टेप आगे बढ़ाना. The step in front becomes very difficult. The same thing. Same thing. Anytime we want to take a step towards Krishna, always this what if comes. So this is called as external gymnastics. Like that. External gymnastics.
Well, that it should be completely neglected, or they are regarding health and all, that may be proper question. I mean, if health goes bad, then point is lost. You may not be able to practice also. I mean, more disturbed.
No, that is fine actually. That is fine. So everything has to be holistic. Okay, hold on. This is external gymnastics. That simply. So this is external gymnastics. That we are seeing a big scene. ये परेशानी हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है. फिर क्या करें? कुछ मत करो. That is the retardation. Don't take a step forward. Like that. Internal gymnastics means what? Internal gymnastics means we are doing gymnastics with the Shastras. And we take, just like how do you play Holi? You have a color. Yeah, gulal hai. You have a color. And anybody comes in front of you, you see this, you see that, you see how this applies there. Is it not? This is what it is. So therefore, internal gymnastics means that we have the color of the Shastric principle. The Lord is saying this, ये मिला है अभी सामने. इसकी लाइफ में कैसे अप्लाई होता है ना? It looks good, and you can take a snapshot. He looks good, like that. You take a snapshot and store it and show PPT. देखो, अच्छा लगा ना इसका? अभी आपको भी देता हूँ. Like that. Take a snapshot. That way. So this is called as internal gymnastics. fluffing in the Shastras. Where in my life is Shastric instructions? Where in others there is Shastric instructions? How does the world appear? How does he appear? How does he appear? How does this appear? How does that appear? This is internal gymnastics.
How do you ensure this doesn't go to the Ashtanga? How do you ensure that this gymnastic doesn't go to Ashtanga? Like, I will make it work. My endeavor, I will change it. I will do something.
No, it's not about I will make it.
Then the person not in the gymnastic.
Point is what you see when we develop faith in Shastras, then what do? We follow what the Shastras are telling. We follow what the seniors are telling us, like that. And to develop faith in Shastras, we are doing gymnastics. That's nice. That means we are going deeper, basically. Gymnastics means we are going deeper into it. We are going deeper into the understanding of it, like that. Like that. And again, everything is tested by its effects. If by doing that, we are seeing that some wrong signals are coming, that means kuch to garbad kiya hai beech mein, na? Like that. Then we have to talk to seniors and share our conclusions. मैं ऐसे सोचा था, but this kind of problems are coming in my heart. What do you feel? Then it's okay. Something has gone wrong somewhere. Just like Vyasdev is confiding to Narada Muni. So in a similar way. So therefore, the symptomatic approach has to be, the symptoms are what to be always kept in mind. And that is what we have to take care. Every step we have to be careful. So in bhakti there is nothing wrong, in bhakti there is nothing right, like that. So what is right, what is wrong is what we testify. What appears wrong can be right. What appears right can be wrong. Right? That way. So this is an important factor. So this is internal gymnastics. Like I remember, I was reading Bhagavad Gita first time, then I was making a lot of acronyms. And then Shri Yushan Poet told me that he was trying to understand how do you make this acronym. So he had told me, you should not, first you don't make an acronym in words and then you fit it there, You first read what is there inside and then you see which word fits, what the point which is to be spoken, So that is the difference between internal and external. Where do we focus, Is it this way or is it that way? So, internal. So the Muni takes pleasure in internal activities, internalizing action. So yes, we may follow Krishna consciousness, so we may follow activities which are being spoken. So what is the sadhaka's homework? So externally now, what kind of activities we follow? There are many benchmarks. In Krishna consciousness, what type of Krishna consciousness activities we follow? Okay, that which is given as instructions to us by seniors, we follow that. We should follow that. That which we see as a dire need, urgency, it's a need of the world. It's a need of Vaishnava community. Many people are speaking about it. We follow. Third, our psychophysical make. Because the circuitry is that way made that it can flow current in that direction only. Then we can offer that condition. So these are the external things which we follow primarily. External activities which we follow. Like that. But now where a sadhaka should focus on. So that means pretty much what we do is quite fixed in terms of activities. Because urgency directs what we should do. Senior devotees, their instruction, they direct what we should do. Their vision many times directs what we should do. And then our own proclivities and nature, what it is, it directs what we should do unless the nature slowly changes, Then it will be a slowly gradual change. So now where a sadhaka should be focusing on? A sadhaka's homework is what? That in whatever he is able to do externally, or wherever he is acting externally, in whichever direction, what is his internal state of consciousness? That is the homework of the sadhaka. Internalization. And that is what is and mind it, when we say internalization does not mean the mind. It's like, body is external. But what is internal? Sometimes dusty thought comes from inside. That is not internalization. That's the mind. Internalization is that which pertains to the soul, actually. So therefore, the sadhaka has to become expert in trying to identify this object called as mind. The symptoms of mind, the plays of mind. How does mind plays game with us? How does mind cheats us? How does mind create problems for us? That a sadhaka has to focus on. Yes.
Because when we talk about things, there's some things that come out of mind. Second, like the earlier point, the point before the last point we talked about mind. The last point we talked about psychophysical things. Many times the things that come out of mind pertain to what that person likes the most, or feels satisfied doing the most, or is happy doing the most. There are something that comes out of mind is fickle, is extremely fickle, and doesn't make any sense, or maybe inspired by just some comfort. He may have caught something outside, he may have caught some person doing it, and he feels that that's nice. So he does do that just out of outside come that. Some things that come that may also be come out of mind is what the person is content doing that, or what he feels satisfaction in doing that. Tending to psychophysical, but yeah, but that person is new. We talked about even in the last class that it takes a good amount of years for a person to exactly understand where he stands in terms of the psychophysical nature. So there are two type of thoughts, two type of things that actually come to a person. One thing is the down body, the average that may be in the mind because of some outside influences which needs to be cut off. But the second thing is when the person is actually satisfied and content doing that. That thought doesn't come as a devotional thought that this is how I'm going to serve, but that thought comes that I feel happy and content doing that. And that's not an outrightly a very say a thing which is against Krishna consciousness, and that as a person is satisfied in doing that, he is satisfied in his life, and that can actually be adopted even in Krishna consciousness. Say for an example, a person is happy doing writing. He does not start writing because he wants to write school papers. He does not start writing because he wants to make more people into the book. That's not the first thought. He will start writing because he feels happy and satisfied. He wants to write on meaningful subject matters. And he feels that can also be dotated in other positive things. And he feels satisfied in his own life. He feels stabilized in his own life. Because many times a person who is not satisfied in doing it, he feels that there is something lacking, and that sort of lacking nothing, or I'm not able to use myself properly. So when that thing comes in, a person mind is not satisfied even in complete.
Yeah, so that is why we are telling mind is a root, R-O-U-T, root. So it roots to externals, it can root to internal also. So that is why at every step one needs to test. And one needs to test. So, and therefore symptoms are very important to understand. That what are the symptoms of stability? And if one is landing on those symptoms of stability, then one can, and that is what we were mentioning, that externally we may do three kinds of activities. One is need of the hour, the urgency of the society, the instruction, the visions of the seniors, and third is our own nature. And the three kinds of activities may happen externally and primarily. But then, what is the internal state that a sadhaka should work on? So then one will embark on symptoms which are positive.
What is the priority, Prabhu, of three things, external things which you provide?
The priority has to go on uh, the understanding of nature itself takes a long time. So therefore the point is initially it is best to follow, and when we understand something, then side by side we keep doing it, and when it is seen that it is very wonderful and one is sure and everyone is sure of, then one can speed up in it. That is how it has to take place. That's how it has to take place. Certain established frontiers and we walk on that, then it is quite safe. And now other aspects of nature, side by side we keep doing. Basically, as a thumb rule, it is said that it should not happen that we are only doing what our nature tells us to do, because and nothing else we are doing. One should see also what is the mission wanting, what are senior Vaishnavas wanting, what is the need of the hour also. So all these three components are put in, it becomes balanced. Whereas if it is only goes in one direction, then there is a risk that it may get contaminated quickly. Even though it may not start with the contamination, but it may get contaminated as it is.
Initially, it should be in the ratio of 8, 90, 10. I mean, the more of not towards nature, but to control mind.
It depends. It depends. It depends person to person. Like that. The glass curves of nature, internally people have various kinds of nature. It's not one. Nothing is one thing only. So then one sees which are the common intersection, and one can start on that note. So it depends. The ratio may depend, but the point is that it should not go to extremes. That way. So that way mind is a root actually. That way mind is a root. And we have to judge symptoms actually. The symptoms of steadiness should manifest when we are following certain protocols which come from inside. And based on that only we can evaluate, is this an inspiration? Is this the nature? Is this inspiration? Is this nature, or is it me? Generally, how do we judge what is the nature of a person? We tell him not to do it, but he cannot help doing it. Tell him not to do it, again he will not do it, and he cannot help doing it. That means that is his make. And that means he will be able to do it in a Krishna conscious way. That way. Just like Murali Gupta was told, chant Hare Krishna is not meditation. And also chant Hare Krishna is not meditation. And so chant Hare Krishna is not. He said, I am committing suicide, I am not meditation. Then Mahaprabhu said, it's not that. It's a different make, like that. So in a similar way, actually, psychophysical tendencies are tested like that. Psychophysical tendencies are tested like that, in that fashion. So there is confusion. If we are confused what it is, then better engage in things which are more clear and develop clarity. When clarity is there, take a step. And that is how symptom by symptom we walk, because the world is dark. And that is where testification is required at every stage. Like that. And the direction pointer here always is mentioned, it restrains away from sense gratification and it restrains into one's true identification of servitorship. Inwards. Inwards. So I think we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow morning. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Because I have a question.
Yes.
Like many times we hear the story of that story what Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur spoke. That once a person was lying in Vrindavan, he was doing Govardhan Parikrama, and at night he was lying there taking rest. And on that way there happened to pass many persons. One thief was passing, then he thought maybe this person has come for stealing and now he is lying. Then after some time a drunkard passed. He thought maybe this person is ज़्यादा पी लिया आज. He is lying down. After some time a sadhu passed. He thought, oh, such a person is so austere, he is doing overthinking. So this example is given, and the lesson is that we see according to our consciousness. Although that activity, what we are observing is same, but we see according to our consciousness. So the conclusion is, okay, here this conclusion seems perfect, but don't judge others. But there is another thing also sometimes, like in temple Bhagavatam Klasa going on the 7th chapter, Prahlad Maharaj. There another verse came up which tells that we can never understand another person perfectly. We cannot understand the other person perfectly. So
we don't have to understand also. We don't have to understand. Why we don't have to understand it? So that's what the point is, that
it is different. Where is the question of objectively saying? If we see everything based on our consciousness, where is the question of this objectively saying?
Objective?
Seeing objectively.
Yeah, that's what we should not see objectively. That is the point actually. We have to bring in subjectivity. Because you see, the point is what? The point is what? So if we are seeing a devotee's activity may be questionable, what do you think? But we are seeing that he is very stable in morning program. He's very stable in his relationship, and what he is doing is ultimately bringing preaching, is bringing glory to Prabhupada and all that. Then fine, what's the problem? So the moment we see stability, the moment we see positive results, the moment we see Vaishnava sanction, then that's it. We don't have to understand what is his motivation and what is his. We don't have to understand the devotee perfectly. We can just accept. What is the problem? Is it that? Right? Because to be able to understand, we need to be of that kind of make as well. Is it not? Right? So just like one rasa cannot understand another rasa. Right? The Shanta rasa is really difficult to understand Madhurya feelings. Madhurya rasa may understand Shanta feelings. Like that. So many things may be difficult for a person depending upon where we are, who we are, what type of upbringing and so on and so forth. But we should just accept it, like that. Like sometimes we hear some very very senior devotees, Maharajas, GBCs, and their viewpoints may completely vary, like that. So now how do we understand that? We don't have to understand. You know? We don't have to understand it all. We just accept them, no problem. We accept them as a devotee, and we accept them as well within Mahaprabhu's family, like that. Like that. Whether we have to accept their ideology or not, that is to us. Like that. Like say one Maharaj, he focuses on, he was glorifying politics, and devotees should enter politics, Now it becomes, what is this? It's controversial, it's debatable, and like that, So the Maharaj is very, powerful and proper. Therefore, if he is encouraging something, he will be able to make sure that Krishna conscious principles will be kept intact and everything will be wonderful and the result will be pleasure of Krishna, Vaishnava, Prabhupada, so on. But we may not be able to do exactly what he said. You understand? So we really don't have to
There is no
understand.
point in seeing of it.
There is no point in saying that. We just see subjective differences. Somebody is able to pass 40 years in Krishna consciousness. It means, ठीक है ना? You may have some particular emphasis, some particular this, but the point is that he's going on and on and on and on. Means we accept him. Wonderful. Is it?
One more question. Sometimes we hear like this basically comes from different quotes which seem like opposite. So I want to reconcile both the quotes. Sometimes it is said that when a devotee is properly practicing Krishna consciousness, there will not be any problems. One will be satisfied. This is one quote. Another quote is it is saying like, if you find that everything is going fine in life, that means there is something problem with your Krishna consciousness. Something is spoken like this also.
So what is the first one?
First thing is like if the person is practicing devotional service perfectly, everything will be perfect in his life. And the second thing is that it is said to devotees, like I heard in all my voice days, if you are feeling that everything is fine in your life, that means there is something problem with your Krishna consciousness. So these two things seem to be opposite. How to reconcile what they are speaking?
No, the point is that when we say if you are practicing nicely, everything is fine, means that one's proclivities or one direction pointers will be in spiritual direction. And that is the meaning of the fine. That means if one is not stable and steady, any upheaval will come and will uproot him. Means what his pointer direction will not remain spiritual. His pointer direction will become material. It will go in sense gratification directions, like that. He will not be able to differentiate. A spiritual has sense gratification. That means he has gone off track. So if one is steady, his direction will be fine. But direction is not everything. The second aspect, the second statement is said that if you feel that everything is fine, that means that that the meaning is absence of challenge. If everything is known to you, if everything is predictable, everything is fine. In that setting it is said. That means there is something wrong.
So here this everything is fine because
Challenge. So devotee may want to serve Krishna, that direction pointer is very clear. That means that he is stable and things are fine. But now some situation comes up, challenge comes up, he really doesn't understand how exact steps to execute. So he is depending on Krishna, he is going internal, like that. And in that way, Krishna reveals step by step. Yes, Anna. That way. So that means that, Vasudev, he was not really understanding how to take Krishna forward. So everything was fine with Vasudev because his pointer was that Krishna's, it is an instruction that I have to take Krishna forward and that I have to execute. And because he did not think anything, jaungi nahi, वापस लौट जाऊंगी, his pointer was moving forward. So therefore everything was fine with him and therefore, that is the first statement. But everything was not fine with him because he was not really knowing what steps to take forward. And what will happen and then what step he is supposed to take forward. Right? So that way everything was not fine with him. So these are two things. The details of the steps and the direction pointers. So for a devotee, we have to see that our direction pointer is proper. But the details of the steps will become different because Krishna arranges situations like that. Is it not? Just like that. Because bhakti is not one-sided process. Krishna is involved actually. And because Krishna is involved, you will see that we do something, Krishna also does something. So actually it will accelerate our progress. And you will become fearful. What happened? It's like that. It's just like, okay, you want to go near a person, he also comes near you. You may bang, like that. Is it not? If you take a step, he also takes a step. Yeah. So therefore, that's what happens. Therefore, we don't have to be fearful. enough challenges. Our direction point is to serve Krishna. We just keep taking shelter of Krishna, Vishnu Vaj, and by the inspiration of the Lord, one will keep moving. So we'll continue tomorrow.